Okay, so it is Monday, October 2nd. This is the second discussion. We are to be focusing on our target students. Just to remind everybody, you are to present your student and their challenges and what your line of thinking is with progression of assistive technology implementation. Okay, does anyone want to go first?
Caitlin, do you want to go first since you already discussing it?
Yeah, sure. So the student I chose is a student with ADHD. He receives itinerant emotional support from me, but he also receives itinerant learning support for math fluency. He, of course, with his ADHD, has a very hard time remaining focused in class. He struggles with losing assignments. Like, you'll look at his desk and he has papers everywhere. He has papers under his desk. I think I go through his locker on a weekly basis to help him organize all his papers because he forgets to hand his assignments in, even if he's done them. So his grade decreases. So when we had to fill out all the paperwork, he really could use stuff for organization. And I've tried agenda books with him to help him with organizing his homework, but he then forgets to fill it out. So he also uses things for his ADHD, like the band on his desk. He had fidgets on his pencil. He had, sorry, I lost my train of thought with her. But so we've used different things for his seat. Like, he had balls, or we also had a seat where he could just move around, or a standing desk. So we've used a lot of different things for him. But the biggest thing is for his organization. So I've been looking for research articles to help him with organization, and I've been finding that there's not much research done for assistive technology to help with organization for kids like him. I found more things for his ADHD that I would like to try, and the big thing that I found is digital games to help with his ADHD.
Does he use like a binder?
He does have a big binder that his mom got for him to help with his organization, and then he has the color-coded folders to help with each class, and it's still a constant struggle with making sure they get in the specific folders, or he'll forget to put stuff in the folders. So we've even done the timers in the class where, okay, when you hear the timer go off, go hand in your assignment. Mm-hmm. And he's so unfocused at times that he just forgets.
Have you tried using like the accordion folders versus a binder? Because I know sometimes kids struggle with, like, if it's not already hole punched for them, they're not going to do it themselves, and it just gets lost in the black hole that is their backpack or whatnot. So sometimes some of our kids that have like that organization executive functioning, we give them the accordion folders with the different.
I've never tried that, but that's a great idea. So yeah, I'll have to try that because I've never even thought about it.
We actually have tried that before too. I forgot about that, but we tried an accordion type folder before.
Everything to work together so they don't have like 5 different folders.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So, I mean, it works the same as a binder, but hopefully they're more apt to, I can just shove it in here instead of having to open the rings and put something into the rings, close the binder.
Yeah, well, his mom got one of those, the big fancy ones where it zippers all the way around even. And so, because he had his pencils in there, like, she tried, I feel bad for her because she's tried to organize every little thing. Mm-hmm. But she said it's always so hard. She said his room is always horrible. And I feel like I see that because when I go through his locker, it's like a hurricane.
Oh, I'm sure.
And have you done like checklists and stuff too?
We do checklists. It's more, he does a behavior chart, not because he has negative behaviors, but more to help him realize, okay, did I do this? Did I do this? So it's like, did I come to class on time? Was I prepared with all my materials? Was I on task for like 80% of the period? And it was like, did I complete all my assignments. He has to fill it out, and then it gets signed by the teacher to see if he actually filled it out and was like following the steps. But he also forgets to do that too. So like now he's in 7th grade, and now he sees so many different teachers that they can't always be on him either because they see so many kids all day. Last year when he only had 2 teachers, it was a lot easier because they knew to be on him.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So
So
it's
you
teaching
said your
him-
positive behavior support plan. Does he get like immediate feedback when he does do anything?
He does. He does get immediate rewards. Our whole building uses Class Dojo, so he could see how he's doing. So he gets those positive points right away. And we also give out rock and roll and tickets. And these can go towards our school store. They use them as like money because our school runs on PBIS. So he also gets that too. So, I mean, we have a lot of rewards built in our school.
Well, like I said before, I can talk to the AT consultant that works with me, and see what she has and see if I find out anything, I will definitely share it with you.
That'd be great. Thank you.
That's a hard case. When executive functioning is, problems are really hard.
Yeah.
Especially if there's no drive for them to,
Exactly.
meet you halfway at least. You got to find
Yeah.
that he finds motivating as a reward, you know what I mean?
Well, that's the other thing too, is thankfully he is a very involved mom. And she has even like made a deal with him. Like if he gets his paperwork all filled out completely, he gets like $10. And then if he has all of his homework completed and it's all turned in on time, that's like another $10. So he has like the opportunity to earn $20. So she's like even tying things at home with school. Like she's really trying to be like, all right, you need to take responsibility for yourself. So
It's good to have an involved parent.
yes,
Yes.
it's really, she's awesome. She really is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Who else?
I can go next.
Okay.
My student is in second grade. He's in the autistic support program. He receives speech therapy and occupational therapy. His big thing is that he cries or yells no at every transition. So he cries, whether that's almost I'm being exaggeratory, but I would say about 50% of the transitions, whether that's from your desk from your gen ed classroom to your autistic support classroom, or even just your desk to the carpet. And I have him in autistic support for reading and writing, and just recently I'm going to pull him for math too. So all academics in autistic support, and then he's supplemental. I am thinking for the crying, and he also needs a lot of reminders to like focus on the task. I'd like to do I have a checklist that I'd like to do with him for routines, but the assistive technology, I was thinking about doing like social stories almost. The issue is obviously that, you need to like a teacher to kind of implement that more, and I'd like it to be more independent. Or maybe even just like a picture of what he needs to do. And his communication is kind of on the lower end. So he doesn't have a lot of communication that he will just randomly speak. So that's another issue, because he'll just scream no instead of saying like what he wants or if he needs help or anything like that.
I was gonna say, have you tried like graphic schedules, like put like right in front of him, like a picture of the clock at whatever time he's supposed to where and where he's going?
We have a visual schedule in the room, but I think that maybe in a schedule just for him might be a good idea.
Like shrink it down, put it on his desk or something.
Mhm. The issue is it's even transitions from like his desk to the carpet in the academic area, which is always fun. So
I used to have a kiddo similar to that where I had a folder, and when you open up the folder, it had all the different tasks that he was doing the day, and we would move it like with the Velcro, because he just needed that. And he also had one of those clocks that had the red timers on it, so that he could see it. We used it for every last thing.
I like
Just
that
to know
idea.
that. I mean, we stepped back eventually, but just to see him, look at, here it is, 5 minutes left. We have 3 minutes left. We have 2 minutes left. We have 1 minute left.
It's a good idea. And just time everything.
Yeah.
What kind of do they use an iPad or a computer or anything?
Only for academic supports, not for communication.
Oh,
at
okay.
this point.
Because I was even going to say you could record videos of what you want him to do and like
Bless you.
them.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Use like even another student if you need to show, okay, this is how you're going to walk over to the carpet and this is how you're going to sit down, and then they could just watch the video before he has to do it.
I like that idea that he's seen somebody else do it.
You could even try and like make a video of him doing it if you could get him to cooperate.
Right. Because I did do pictures of him like transitioning, but maybe a whole video is a really good idea.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Chantel, did you want to go next?
I really am not having any issues yet. So my little kiddo is a kindergartner. It's the second year in kindergarten. He has Down syndrome, and you can't really understand what he's speaking. And so they've used no consistent communication with him yet. They have the unique learning system, so they've used, there's a communication boards for some of the lessons for that. So they've used that, but they have not used anything consistently. So we're going to look at pod first, and then move from there. But right now I was out for a week because I was sick, so I haven't been in yet to work with them since their other stuff was due.
Does he do any sign language or anything, or?
They tried sign language with him in preschool, but his fine motor skills are really bad, and no one could understand him. And he was pretty successful with PECs, and so I'm thinking of doing like a PODS PECs mix, so that like put the pictures over top. You know what I'm talking about, the pod books?
Yeah.
Yeah, and having them Velcroed on there so he can pull them off to say, since he's already familiar with PECs.
Smart idea. I like that idea.
But other than that, like everything else, his other daily functioning skills are pretty much already set because they have a lot of assistive technology in the classroom. So I've been blessed. I work with this team a lot, and they're just amazing. So
Awesome.
Yeah, mom and dad, I said, well, you're going to have to do this at home. And his mom is the founder of the Down Syndrome Society for our region. I'm like, okay, well, got 100% support. So.
Yeah.
I've been pretty lucky. I've been very lucky. And he's a good little kid, so he's very eager to try things out.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I guess I'm last. The young lady that I chose as my target student, she's in 8th grade, and she has a specific learning disability in reading and math, and I chose to focus on the reading. She came into school the first week, everything went fine. The next week, she hands me the microphone to an FM system, says, can you use this? And I was like, sure, whatever. And I went and asked her learning specialist, I'm like, what's up with this? She goes, I don't know. So we have no idea why she's using the FM system. As far as her hearing tests, anything we have on those are fine.
There's actually research on that for kids who have like ADHD.
Right, yeah, and that's what, from what we can get from the parents, which is very little at this point because she's new this year, she's using it to block out background noise, basically, of the other kids. But she stopped bringing it, she didn't use it halfway through last week, it like disappeared. So I don't know. I meant to like pull her aside and be like, hey, like what's going on? But I haven't got a chance yet.
Consistency.
Yeah. But I'm really trying to push Google Read and Write. It's already downloaded onto all of our kids' laptops. And it's, you know, super easy if she wanted to put it on like a home computer or something. So I've been really trying to push that. And especially after watching this last webinar in the module, I don't know if you guys got to that yet. But I learned more from that than I did from the guy who taught Google Read and Write to us at school.
Yeah, I got to them and they were like, I loved a lot of the stuff it showed me.
Yeah.
I wrote some of them down for my own use to take back at school.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I like all the Google apps. It's just like trying to like push them the kids to use them consistently when you don't see them consistently, because I only see her once a day. So it's like hard to be like, hey, are you using this in other classes, and without me like stalking her throughout the day. And we all know teenagers hate that.
Yeah.
So,
Does she have any kind of aid support in the classrooms?
we are a school specifically for learning disabilities. So each grade is assigned what we call a learning specialist, and sometimes they'll push in. But other than that, like our class sizes are, we try and keep teacher-student ratio 14:1. And they have an immense amount of supports available to them, but it's not like consistent, I would say, as far as personnel.
Interesting.
Yeah. So our school is a lot of ADHD, dyslexia, executive functioning, specific learning disabilities, some high functioning autism, but that's our main population. We're K-12 and we have less than 300 kids.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're really small, tight knit. Our kindergarten literally has 3 kids in the class. So
Where is this at?
it's in Radnor. It's or like Devon Paolia area. It's in the Tredyffrin Easttown Township School District. So it's called Woodland. Yeah, most people haven't heard of it. I didn't hear of it until I got hired there. So yeah.
I guess maybe the only thing you have to really work on is then getting that parent involvement and seeing
Yeah,
why she's using the FM system.
Yeah, when I met her parents on like back to school night, they were just like, I think they seemed a little overwhelmed. So I'm hoping like now that things have calmed down, I'll get better communication out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So we are well over 15 minutes.
Okay.
Does anybody have anything else they want to add? I feel like this went so quick.
It did.
Yeah, I thought so too.
All right, cool. I'm going to stop recording.